Have you ever had the feeling that your body has the ability to heal itself? That deep within you resides a power that can naturally bring any imbalance, any illness, back into harmony? You are not here by chance. The universe has led you to this moment to explore this very question. In a world characterized by medical advances and technology, many people cling to the age-old belief that the body has a miraculous, almost mystical ability to heal itself. But is this really the case? The concept of self-healing is deeply rooted in many cultures and spiritual traditions. It is the idea that the body functions like a kind of harmonious machine that, if properly nourished and cared for, can correct any disorder itself. From cut wounds that close on their own to illnesses that seemingly subside without outside intervention, there are examples everywhere of how the body is miraculously capable of healing. This idea is reassuring because it gives us the feeling that we are able to retain control over our own well-being. But at the same time, the question arises, does the body really have sole control over this process? Or are there deeper, perhaps invisible forces at work in the background that influence whether and how well we heal? For many people, the idea of self-healing is an expression of trust in the body's natural intelligence. They believe that if we listen to our body, give it the rest it needs and help it to find balance, it will find its own way to healing. Nevertheless, there are always doubts about this idea. What happens when the body reaches its limits? When serious illnesses or injuries overtax the body's self-healing powers? Is it then really the body that is in control, or do mental, emotional, or even spiritual forces play a greater role? Could it be that the mind, or a higher, unconscious force, ultimately sets the course for our well-being? These questions lead us to a fascinating area of tension between what we perceive as physical, visible processes and what may be happening on a deeper, invisible level. In the coming chapters we will explore these questions further and find out whether the body is really the sole actor in self-healing, or whether it is perhaps just part of a larger, more mysterious puzzle. Now we come to one of the most intriguing connections involved in this process, the power of the mind. In the next chapter, we'll look at the so-called placebo effect and explore whether it's belief, your mind, rather than your body that ultimately directs healing. The connection between mind and body is one of the most fascinating and mysterious phenomena in modern medicine. The placebo effect puts this connection front and center. Imagine this: you take a pill that you believe will relieve your pain. Shortly afterwards, you feel better, even though the pill contains no pharmacologically active ingredients. What has happened here? Did your body heal itself, or was it your belief that set this process in motion? The placebo effect is one of the most impressive examples of how powerfully the mind can work through the body. Medical studies have shown time and time again that simply believing that a treatment works is enough to bring about real physiological changes in the body. Pain can be relieved, blood pressure can drop, and even the immune system can work harder, all by believing in the cure. In many cases, the body responds to this belief as if a real medical intervention has taken place. But why does this happen? The answer lies not only in the body itself, but in the interaction of mind and body. When you firmly believe that a treatment will help, your brain triggers a cascade of reactions that result in real physical changes. Neurotransmitters such as endorphins and dopamine are released and contribute to pain relief and a sense of well-being. It's as if your mind gives the body the command, heal, and the body obeys. But this effect raises a deeper question: who is really in control at this moment? Your body, which reacts to the biochemical signals, or your mind, which initiates these signals in the first place? The placebo effect shows us that although the body is doing the reacting, it is the mind that is taking the lead. This suggests that healing is not just a physical process, but is also deeply connected to the beliefs and expectations you hold. There are many impressive examples of the placebo effect in medicine. In some cases, patients suffering from serious illnesses were given placebos and yet they showed significant improvements, even in situations where conventional medical treatments failed. This is proof that the belief in healing can often be as powerful as the healing itself. But the placebo effect also has a darker side. If the belief in a cure is so strong that it actually affects the body, then the opposite must also be possible. If you firmly believe that an illness is incurable or that treatment will not help, this negative belief could also have physical effects. This leads us to a crucial realization: the mind can not only support the healing process, it can also block it. The placebo effect therefore shows us that the mind and the body are connected in a profound way. The belief in healing, or the belief in illness, can strongly influence the body, perhaps even more than we realize. But what about the subconscious, that powerful part of your mind that often works unnoticed in the background? What role does it play in healing and how much does it influence your well-being? In the next chapter, we will delve deeper into the world of the subconscious mind and explore how it guides the healing process, often without you realizing it. As you move through everyday life, it often seems as though your thoughts and actions are completely controlled by your conscious mind. But beneath the surface, hidden and powerful, the subconscious mind is at work, and it influences your well-being in deeper and more far-reaching ways than you may realize. The subconscious mind is the repository for all your experiences, beliefs, and emotions, and it plays a crucial role in the healing process. The subconscious mind is like a silent director, guiding the patterns and programs of your life in secret. Many of the beliefs you have about health, illness, and healing are not in your conscious mind, but are deeply rooted in your subconscious. These beliefs, often unconsciously adopted in your childhood or through formative experiences, can determine how your body reacts to illness, how quickly you recover, or whether you heal at all. Imagine you grew up believing that illnesses are dangerous and incurable. You may have heard messages like this again and again in your family or in your environment. Your subconscious has absorbed these beliefs and turned them into a kind of inner program. Now, every time you fall ill, this deep belief is activated. Your body reacts to the subconscious belief that healing is difficult or even impossible, and the healing process is inhibited or slowed down accordingly. The power of the subconscious can both serve you and stand in your way. If you harbor a deep belief that you are strong and capable, your body will be more attuned to healing. Studies show that people who have a positive attitude towards their health often recover faster and are less susceptible to chronic illness. However, if your subconscious is characterized by negative beliefs, you can unconsciously block the healing process. A well-known example of this is the phenomenon of psychosomatics. This is when emotional or mental stress manifests itself as physical symptoms. If you harbor a fear or inner conflict deep in your subconscious, this stress can express itself in physical complaints. It could be that you suffer from constant back pain that has no obvious physical cause, but in reality this pain reflects unresolved emotional tensions. Your subconscious holds on to these emotions and expresses them in the form of physical suffering. But just as the subconscious mind can manifest illness, it can also facilitate healing. Through targeted work with your subconscious mind, be it through meditation, hypnosis, or techniques such as working with affirmations, you can reprogram deep-seated negative belief patterns. Once you begin to plant positive and healing beliefs deep into your subconscious mind, your body will respond to these new programs. You begin to open up the space for healing on a fundamental level that was previously blocked by negative programs. The subconscious mind is the silent engine behind much of what happens in your body. By learning to understand and consciously work with this engine, you can not only accelerate physical healing, but also create a deeper harmony between mind and body. In the next chapter, we will now look at another important aspect of self-healing: emotions. How strongly do feelings such as fear, joy, or sadness influence your body, and what can you do to utilize this powerful lever of healing? Emotions are the invisible forces at work in every cell of your body. They flow through you every second, often unnoticed, and yet they have tremendous power over your physical health and well-being. What you feel affects not only your mental state, but also the physical state of your body. In fact, emotions are one of the strongest influencing factors on your health. Negative emotions such as fear, anger, or sadness can have a profound effect on your body. They act like a poison that gradually attacks your cells and unbalances your body's internal systems. For example, if you are under constant stress or anxiety, your body releases more stress hormones such as cortisol. These hormones prepare your body to fight or flee, a response that is useful in acute situations but can have devastating long-term effects. Chronic stress causes your immune system to weaken, increases inflammation in the body, and puts a strain on your cardiovascular system. Imagine you are constantly tense, your mind full of worries. Your body reacts by tensing its muscles, your breathing becomes shallower, and your digestion is disturbed. Many people don't realize how profoundly their emotions are affecting their bodies until they suffer from chronic symptoms that at first glance have no physical cause. However, these physical symptoms are often just the manifestation of unresolved emotional conflicts. On the other hand, positive emotions such as joy, love, and gratitude have an amazing healing effect on the body. Studies have shown that people who regularly experience positive emotions have stronger immune systems and recover more quickly from illness. Emotions are like messages that tell your cells how to function. When you are in a state of joy and relaxation, your mind sends your body the message, "Everything is fine." Your body responds by relaxing, activating its self-healing powers and functioning optimally. An impressive example of the power of emotions over the body is the work of physician and researcher Dr. Norman Cousins. Cousins suffered from a serious illness that was considered incurable, but he began to deliberately expose himself to positive emotions such as laughter and joy. By laughing for hours on end and consciously cultivating positive thoughts, he experienced a dramatic improvement in his condition. His case became known worldwide and led to the realization that positive emotions can actually have a direct healing effect on the body. You can consciously use the power of emotions to support your body. Mindfulness and emotional awareness are the first step. As soon as you recognize which emotions dominate your everyday life, you can consciously take steps to transform negative emotions. Breathing techniques, meditation, and mindfulness exercises can help you to return to the moment and release emotional blockages. By allowing yourself to experience feelings such as joy and gratitude more intensely, you activate your inner healing power. But what are the limits of this emotional self-healing power? Is it always possible to heal through positive emotions, or are there cases where the body is not able to regenerate on its own? In the next chapter, we will explore the limits of self-healing and find out when the body may need more support than emotions or thoughts can offer. As impressive as the body's ability to heal itself is, there are times when this inner strength reaches its limits. Not every injury or illness can be healed by the body's natural intelligence alone. Even in times when positive thoughts and strong emotions play a major role, it is important to recognize that there are situations in which the body needs external support, be it through medical interventions, therapies, or other forms of external help. Illnesses and injuries are often a combination of many factors. There are physical illnesses that are caused by genetic predispositions, infections, or environmental influences and cannot be overcome by the power of the mind or the body's self-healing mechanisms alone. Chronic illnesses such as autoimmune diseases or cancer often show that the body, despite its potential to heal, is overwhelmed in certain cases. One example of this is the case of severe trauma. If the body is damaged by an accident or serious injury, it is not enough to simply rely on the body's own healing powers. In such cases, medical support is essential, be it through surgery, medication, or physiotherapy. These external interventions can provide the body with the help it needs to recover and support the healing processes that it cannot initiate itself. Even in cases of severe psychological stress or chronic emotional conflict, the body may not be able to heal on its own. Prolonged stress or unresolved trauma can be so deeply rooted in the body and mind that they need outside help to be resolved. Therapeutic interventions that support the mind and relieve the body are often necessary to break through these deep-seated blockages and clear the way for healing. However, these limits to self-healing do not mean that the body is powerless. Rather, it means that healing is sometimes a collaborative process. There are times when the body and mind need external support to activate and drive the healing process. This support can come in the form of medical technology, but also in the form of spiritual practices or alternative healing methods. This raises the question, is it really the body alone that heals, or does it sometimes need the impulse from outside to activate its natural ability to heal? These limitations show that self-healing is not an isolated process. The body is a part of the larger whole, and sometimes it is necessary to bring other forces, be they medical, psychological, or spiritual, on board. While we recognize the limits of self-healing, it is encouraging to know that the body is always trying to regenerate, even when it reaches its limits. And sometimes it is this realization that teaches us the humility to accept both the power of the body and the need for outside help. In the next chapter, we will turn our attention back to the mind and look at how thoughts, conscious and unconscious, have a decisive influence on how well our body is able to heal. Because even though the body has its limits, the mind plays a powerful role in how far those limits actually extend. The mind is one of the most powerful forces that can influence the body, perhaps even the most important. Thoughts are more than mere mental processes. They are the architects of your reality, and this includes your physical state. What you think, and how often you repeat certain thoughts shapes not only your mental health, but also your physical health. The mind has the ability to promote healing, or hinder it. Every thought you have sends a signal to your body. Positive thoughts can create feelings of hope, joy, and confidence, which puts the body in a state of well-being. When you are in such a state, your immune system works more efficiently, your stress level decreases, and the body can regenerate faster. People who consciously support their healing through positive thoughts and visualizations often report amazing progress, even in situations where there was no quick solution from a medical point of view. The idea that you can influence your health through your thoughts is not a new concept. The practice of visualization, where you imagine in detail how your body heals and becomes healthy, has a long history in many spiritual and medical traditions. By visualizing damaged cells regenerating or pain disappearing, you strengthen the neural connections in your brain that are linked to the idea of health. Your body follows these mental images because the brain does not always distinguish between reality and imagination. But just as positive thoughts can promote healing, negative thoughts have the opposite effect. Thoughts of fear, doubt, or hopelessness act like toxins that flood your body. If you focus on illness and are constantly convinced that there is no improvement in sight, you are sending your body the signal that healing is not possible. This constant bombardment of negative thoughts can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You expect illness and your body reacts to it. A powerful example of this is the so-called nocebo effect, the opposite of the placebo effect. When people believe that a treatment will not work or that an illness is incurable, their condition often worsens, even if there is no medical reason for it. These negative beliefs send stress signals to the body that block self-healing and weaken the immune system. But this is also where the power of the mind lies. If you become aware of these thought patterns, you can change them. Mindfulness and meditation are tools with which you can observe and control your thoughts. You learn to recognize negative thought spirals and consciously replace them with positive, healing thoughts. This practice is not a one-time action, but an ongoing process in which you train the mind to focus on health and healing. Another powerful tool to support the healing process is working with affirmations. By repeatedly saying positive, health-promoting phrases to yourself, you reprogram your subconscious mind and strengthen the belief that healing is possible. Affirmations such as, "My body is strong and heals itself," or "I trust in the wisdom of my body," can bring about profound changes, especially when practiced regularly. The mind, you could say, is the rudder that steers the course of your healing. It is the anchor that either keeps you in the harbor of health or guides you into the stormy seas of illness. The decision of which thoughts you nurture is entirely up to you, and this is where the power to actively influence your healing process lies. In the next chapter, we will continue this journey and explore the spiritual dimension of healing. Because beyond thoughts and emotions, there may be a deeper, unseen force that harmonizes your body and mind and takes the healing process to a whole new level. Healing is not only a physical or mental process, but often also a spiritual one. Many people report healing experiences that they cannot describe with scientific or rational explanations alone. They speak of a deep inner guidance, a divine intelligence, or a universal force that influences their healing process in a way that goes beyond the understanding of body and mind. The question arises, is there a higher power guiding the healing process? And if so, how can we consciously utilize this power? In many spiritual traditions, the body is seen as the temple of the soul. This view suggests that physical ailments do not occur in isolation from the mind or soul, but are often an expression of a deeper inner imbalance. In this context, healing does not just mean that symptoms disappear or wounds heal, but that the whole person, body, mind, and soul, is brought back into harmony. This holistic view assumes that true healing is always spiritual. One of the most profound concepts in spiritual healing is trust in a higher power or universal intelligence. This power is named differently in different cultures and spiritual schools of thought, be it as God, the universe, prana, chi, or life energy. What all these teachings have in common, however, is the conviction that healing begins at an energetic level. When body, mind, and soul are in harmony, this energy flows freely and promotes health. When blockages, whether emotional, mental, or spiritual, impede this energy flow, illness results. Spiritual practices such as Reiki, quantum healing, or prayer aim to harmonize the flow of energy in the body and connect people with this universal force. People who engage in these practices often report profound healing experiences that cannot be explained by physical or mental effort alone. It is as if they are connecting to something greater that is guiding the healing process in a way that they themselves cannot fully control. A classic example of this is working with prayer and meditation. Many spiritual traditions teach that through prayer or meditation, a connection is made to this higher power that enables healing. There are numerous stories of people who, in times of deep illness or crisis, felt that they were surrounded by an invisible, healing presence that helped them to recover. They report a deep inner peace that flowed through them and a sense of trust that gave them the strength to carry on, even in situations where healing seemed impossible. However, spiritual healing does not always mean that the body becomes completely healthy. In some cases, it is more about making peace with the illness or suffering. Spiritual healing can also mean understanding the experience of illness on a deeper level, as a kind of life lesson or spiritual test. This perspective helps many people find meaning in their illness and experience healing on a deeper level, even if the physical symptoms persist. Another spiritual perspective on healing is the idea that healing sometimes comes from a karmic or soul level. Some spiritual traditions believe that illness or disease is based on karmic patterns or soul blockages that have accumulated over many lifetimes. In such cases, healing is not achieved through physical or mental intervention alone, but requires spiritual work, be it through inner cleansing, forgiveness, or releasing old karmic connections. Whether you take these spiritual concepts literally or see them more as a metaphor, they open up a deeper view of the healing process. They show that healing does not always take place only on the physical level, but also in the heart and soul. When we realize that we are not alone on this healing journey, but are accompanied by a deeper, spiritual force, we can gain confidence and hope in the process. In the final chapter, we will now bring all these insights together and take a look at how you can harmonize body, mind and spiritual levels to promote your well-being holistically. Because true healing happens when all aspects of our being, physical, mental, emotional and spiritual, are in harmony with each other. Now that we have taken the journey through the different levels of healing, from the physical body to the mind to the spiritual dimension, it becomes clear that true well-being involves far more than the absence of illness. It is about harmony on all levels of your being, body, mind, emotions and spirit. The question of whether your body alone is in control of your well-being cannot be answered simply because it is only one part of a much larger whole. Healing often begins in the body, but without including the mind and the emotional and spiritual dimension in the process, the healing processes remain incomplete. Your body is a reflection of your inner state, and just as thoughts and emotions affect your physical state, physical well-being can also support your mental and emotional health. It is a cycle, an interplay that cannot be considered separately. When we see the body as the instrument through which the mind and spirit work, we realize that true well-being can only be achieved when these different aspects are in harmony. It's like conducting an orchestra. The body may be the instruments, but the mind is the conductor and the soul sets the rhythm. If one of these parts is out of balance, the harmony is disturbed, and this often manifests itself in the form of illness, stress, or discomfort. The body does indeed have amazing self-healing powers, and many of these mechanisms operate in secret. But as we have seen, the role of the mind should not be underestimated. Your thoughts shape your reality, and the way you think about your health and well-being directly influences how your body reacts. The mind can heal or block the body, depending on the thoughts and beliefs you cultivate. But even beyond the mind lies the spiritual level, a dimension that many people overlook when they think about healing. Spiritual healing is often about connecting with a higher power or deeper meaning that supports us on our healing journey. It is not always about eliminating symptoms, but about realizing that life and the body are part of a greater plan. This spiritual dimension can help us gain confidence, even in difficult times, and give us the realization that sometimes healing does not take place in the physical world, but in the soul. To live a fulfilled and healthy life, it is crucial to harmonize these different aspects of your being. You can nurture the body by giving it exercise, a healthy diet and adequate rest. You can support your mind by being mindful of your thoughts and focusing on positive, healing beliefs. And you can nourish your soul by seeking a deep connection to yourself, to nature or to a higher power, be it through meditation, prayer, or other spiritual practices. Healing is an ongoing process. There is no definitive answer to the question of whether your body alone is in control of your well-being, because true well-being comes from the connection of body, mind, and spirit. By cultivating this connection and consciously nurturing each of these aspects of your being, you can steer your life in a new, harmonious direction. On that note, our journey through the levels of healing ends, but your own healing journey continues. It is in your hands to find and maintain the balance that allows you to be healthy and happy on all levels of your being.